The F-22 Raptor was supposed to be untouchable. Then the Air Force found out it was already falling behind. So they did something nobody expected. They're rebuilding it from the inside out. This is the Raptor 2. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why it might be the most important fighter upgrade of the decade. If you're into military aviation, hit subscribe right now, because AEROSTRIKE breaks down stuff like this every single week. Section 1. The King with an Expiration Date. For almost 20 years, the F-22 Raptor has been the undisputed king of air-to-air combat. Stealth that borders on science fiction. Speed that lets it supercruise past Mach 1 without even lighting the afterburner. And a radar cross-section so small that on enemy scopes, it looks more like a marble than a fighter jet. On paper, nothing else in the sky comes close. But here's the problem nobody likes to talk about. The Raptor is old. Not old in the sense of falling apart, old in the sense that it was designed in the 1990s for a threat environment that doesn't exist anymore. Back then, the big worry was dogfighting older generation fighters. Today, the fight looks completely different. Rival stealth fighters are closing the gap. Advanced air defense systems can track things that used to be invisible. And drones, cheap, expendable, everywhere, are changing what air superiority even means. So the Air Force is left with a hard truth. They only ever built 187 combat-ready Raptors. Production stopped back in 2011. And you can't just roll a new one off the line. The tooling is gone, the supply chain is gone, which means the only way to keep the Raptor relevant is to upgrade the ones that already exist. That's what people are calling the Raptor 2. So what actually changes? Section 2. New senses, more firepower, a new heart. Start with the brain of the aircraft, the sensors. The current plan folds in a new AN/APG-77 radar upgrade, giving the jet better range and the ability to track more targets at once, in more directions, through more jamming. Pair that with upgraded infrared search and track pods, and the Raptor stops relying purely on radar. It can now find enemy aircraft passively, without ever giving away its own position. That matters more than people realize. In modern air combat, whoever sees first almost always shoots first. The Raptor 2 is designed to see first every time. Then there's the weapons problem. This is the part that's honestly kind of embarrassing when you say it out loud. Despite being the most advanced air superiority fighter on Earth, the F-22 can only carry 6 air-to-air missiles internally. 6. Compare that to newer designs being built around carrying 8, 10, sometimes more. The Raptor's weapons bays were sized for missiles from the 1990s, and modern missiles are wider. So one of the core pieces of this upgrade is a redesign that lets the jet carry more munitions internally, without giving up the stealth shape that makes it what it is. Engineers are also working on side-mounted rails that can hold short-range weapons without compromising the aircraft's radar signature. Next, the engines. The Raptor's original F-119 engines are incredible, but incredible for the 1990s. Adaptive cycle engine programs, the kind being developed for 6th-generation fighters, are being studied for retrofit into the Raptor's airframe. An adaptive engine can shift between a fuel-efficient mode for long-range cruising and a high-thrust mode for combat on the fly. That could mean a Raptor with significantly more range, which fixes one of its most criticized weaknesses, the fact that it's always been a relatively short-legged fighter that needs tankers nearby to do its job. And then there's the part that might matter most in the long-run: connectivity. The original Raptor was designed to be a lone wolf. It talks to other Raptors through a special secure data link. But historically, it struggled to share data smoothly with other aircraft, like the F-35, or with ground command centers. Raptor 2 changes that. New open architecture mission systems are being built in, so the jet can plug into the same network battle picture as everything else in the force drones. Satellites, other fighters, all sharing targeting data in real time. In a future where wars might be won or lost based on who processes information faster, that upgrade alone could be the most important one on this list. Section 3. Why now, and what it costs. Now, here's the part that makes this genuinely fascinating from a strategy standpoint. The Air Force isn't doing this because they love the Raptor. They're doing it because the replacement isn't ready yet. The real future of American air superiority is a program called NGAD Next Generation Air Dominance, a sixth-generation fighter designed to work alongside autonomous drone wingmen. But NGAD is expensive, complicated, and years away from full deployment. Until it arrives, the Air Force needs something to hold the line, and that something is a modernized Raptor. Think of it like this. Raptor 2 isn't meant to be a new fighter. It's meant to buy time. It's a bridge between the world's current best air superiority jet and whatever comes after it. And bridges, if built right, can carry a lot of weight. There's also a financial argument here that's easy to miss. Building a brand new fighter from scratch, design, testing, certification, production can take well over a decade and cost tens of billions of dollars before a single squadron ever flies it. Upgrading an existing airframe, one that's already proven, already flying, already trusted by pilots, is dramatically faster and cheaper. For a relatively modest investment compared to a clean sheet design, the Air Force can keep its most capable fighter dangerous for another 15 to 20 years. Section 4. The Pushback and the Verdict. Of course, not everyone is convinced this is the right move. Critics point out that you can only upgrade an airframe so much before you're spending huge amounts of money to squeeze marginal gains out of 1990s engineering. Stealth shaping is baked into the physical structure of the jet. You can improve coatings and materials, but you can't fundamentally redesign the airframe's geometry without essentially building a new aircraft. There's a ceiling here, and some analysts argue the Raptor is already close to it. But even with that ceiling, a Raptor with better sensors, more missiles, longer range, and real-time connectivity to the rest of the battle network is a fundamentally more dangerous aircraft than the one flying today. And in a world where fewer air forces can afford to build new fighters from scratch, keeping your best assets sharp through smart upgrades might be the more realistic path forward, not just for America, but as a model other countries are already watching closely. So is the Raptor 2 a stopgap, or is it a genuine leap forward? Honestly, it's probably both. It's a stopgap in the sense that it's buying time until NGAD is ready, but it's a leap forward in the sense that the aircraft coming out the other side of this upgrade will barely resemble the jet that first flew in 1997. Same airframe, same iconic silhouette, but a completely different brain, different senses, and a different way of fighting. The Raptor built its legend as the jet nobody could see coming. Raptor 2 is built to make sure that legend doesn't have an expiration date. If you want more deep dives into the fighters shaping the next era of air combat, subscribe to AEROSTRIKE, and I'll see you in the next one.